split or torn containers, fewer cargoes would end up like this. Look out for holes near the roof corners. This is what causes them. A moment's lack of attention up here, and a crane spreader turns into a 10-ton hole punch.
Okay.
Many sleepless nights have been caused by leaking tank containers, particularly if what they're leaking is dangerous goods. Why not save yourself a nightmare? Check them as soon as they're loaded. Porthole reefers look straightforward enough. Yet it's often discovered too late that one has been stowed where the cold air supply is the wrong temperature for its cargo. Or its portholes haven't been opened and there isn't room to reach them. Sometimes they can't be connected because they're stowed in a slot of the wrong height, or even the wrong way round. Integral reefers need special attention. If the equipment is dual voltage, as it is in many American containers, check the transformer setting before connecting up. Then switch on. It may seem obvious, but simply failing to switch on causes many claims. Now switch on the container's equipment and take a moment to make sure it's running. It is, of course, vital to check that the equipment is set at the temperature the shipper has specified, as set out in the reefer cargo list. Even this may not be as simple as it sounds. Displays aren't always easy to reach or to read. This one actually says 5 degrees, and it's permanently set to centigrade. Some can be switched to read Fahrenheit instead, and it's easy to mix them up under pressure. To make sure that the set temperature is actually being maintained, it's necessary to check the control temperature as well. Any variation which exceeds the norms for the type of container and cargo carried must be investigated. If a part-low recorder is fitted, make sure a chart is in place and that it shows the correct temperature has been maintained before loading. If it's clockwork, wind it up. The more sophisticated integral reefers become, the more important it is to make sure spares and manuals have been supplied for each type on board. Any irregularities should be referred to the terminal without delay. But unless you've been authorized to do so, never alter a set temperature. In chilled cargoes, getting it wrong by even 1 degree generally spells disaster. Containers overboard add up to 15% of cargo losses. They also endanger other seafarers and the environment. If they cause pollution or obstruction, the ship owner is obliged to recover them regardless of expense.
I couldn't believe what I saw. I've never seen anything like that, never.
That's what people around the Sound today were saying about this ship. It's an American...
Extreme weather led to this casualty. But this and similar recent events have prompted some to question whether lashing systems and containers themselves have inherent design problems.
It's going to take like 7 days, they said, 6 or 7 days.
However, many container overboard incidents and collapsed stows are caused simply because the securing manual has been ignored or rogue or faulty equipment used. Big ships, small crews and fast loading have made it customary in many ports for stevedores and riggers to work unsupervised. But the law still holds ship staff responsible for securing and lashing. Even though you haven't time to direct operations, don't let anyone forget that the securing system is a system. Keep an eye open for fittings used incorrectly or missed out altogether. Make sure lashings aren't over-tightened. More than hand-tight overstresses fittings and containers. And beware of lashing rods fixed over open twist locks, so they can't be locked. Twist locks must always be the right way up. Using them upside down is dangerous because they look as if they're locked when they aren't. Never allow this. Cracked fittings are the first to fail when the going gets tough. And here's a shortcut that's often cut short lives. Extra care may be needed on ships not designed exclusively to carry containers. The 4 lower corner castings support all the weight. Are they bearing on strengthened areas? Dented tank tops can cause gaps between upper tiers. This may discourage the use of the correct fittings, as well as putting extra stress on them. Not all holds are as regularly shaped as this one, and securing points may not be where they're needed. But don't allow containers to be secured except by the corner castings. This surveyor's report is a catalogue of bad lashing techniques discovered on one ship. Well-meaning improvisation all too often ends like this. Before sailing, a check must be made that all locks are closed and all lashings tight. Pay special attention to non-containerized cargo. Don't overlook cargo on flat racks. Losses, injuries and death regularly occur because mariners have simply assumed that cargo loaded inland is adequately secured for a sea passage. Last but not least, record the care you've taken. Your log entry could be the ship's only defence against an unfair claim. Before sailing, the chief officer must ensure he has the latest information on stowage positions and weights to calculate stability, bending moments, shear force, and torsion limits. On the voyage, poor surveillance of reefers leads to many claims against the ship. Unless a remote monitoring system is in use, checks that all are working properly should be carried out systematically, weather permitting. Carefully log all checks made and any defects found. And remember to order replacements for any spare parts used. Automatic monitoring systems reduce the workload on the crew and the likelihood of mistakes being made. They also contribute to crew safety in heavy weather. Lashings should be checked periodically, and always when heavy weather is expected, and again when it's past.
47 outside, Captain. She's been rolling very heavily.
Conditions like this put even the best lashing system in jeopardy.
Can't have the cargo breaking loose, that's for sure.
The forecast is going to be increased to force 8, and the wind will veer to south, Captain.
Weather routing and liner schedules aren't the best shipmates, but ploughing on until lashings fail is a frequent cause of major cargo claims. On average, losing boxes overboard costs $500,000. Money that could be saved by slowing down or changing course to ease the ship.
What was steering? How's your head, Yuri?
243, Captain.
Okay, right. Well, we'll bring her down to full ahead manoeuvring.
Full ahead maneuver, Captain.
Remember, the ISM code affirms that the master has overriding authority to take whatever action he considers to be in the best interests of his crew, the ship, and the marine environment.
I think we'll steady her up on 260, Yuri.
260 steady.
Right, we'll try her on half ahead too, see how she runs.
Half 8.
So, schedules need never prevail over seamanship.
Coming in good now. Yeah.
When competition is hot, mistakes are bound to happen. But nobody wins by ignoring losses. Lost cargo means lost profit, lost customers, and lost jobs. Fortunately, everyone can help to stop this. Shippers can check that containers are fit for the job, package and pack with a C in mind, declare weight accurately, and provide clear carriage instructions. Owners and charterers can give terminals the ship's vital statistics in good time. Ensure that a flag state-approved cargo securing manual is always available, and that lashing equipment is maintained so that it can do what the manual requires. They can encourage masters to take whatever measures they see fit to safeguard ship, crew, and cargo. Mariners can learn the limits of their ship and its securing system. Share this knowledge around whenever time permits, and confirm that containers have been correctly stowed and securely lashed. They can protect the ship's interests by keeping accurate records at all times, and by caring throughout the voyage for cargoes that are out of sight but never out of mind.